amateur hacker suddenly gets a hacking contract from a client. While hacking accordingly, he discovers something that brings him to a difficult time in his life. But what did he discover? And how did he escape from this danger? You have to watch the entire video to know. I was talking about the hacking movie Algorithm, or Hacker, released in 2014. So let's not add to the pain and start today's movie explanation. At the beginning of the movie, we see CCTV footage where two people are interrogating a person. These two NSA agents named Agent Wallace and Peterson are interrogating this person named Charles Dark. He is accused of stealing information by hacking into a secret system of the government. So even though the NSA agents ask him about it again and again, he keeps saying that he knows nothing about it. Then we are taken to a flashback to a month ago, where we see an amateur hacker named Will. Will believed that all information on the internet should be open to everyone, so he would hack various systems almost out of curiosity. Hacking someone's Wi-Fi or hacking the phone company's server to get unlimited offers was his daily work. However, along with these hacking, he would also work on contracts like a private detective. For this, clients would come to him at different times and hire him for hacking. One day, a businessman named Gordon came to meet him. Gordon suspected that his wife was cheating on him, so he wanted Will to hack his home system and extract all the important information from his wife's phone and laptop. Even if nothing was found, he promised Will a large sum of money. And Will started his work as promised. Although he himself is a skilled hacker, in order to enter a house's system, he must first fit a hacking device into the house's electrical lines. And he does not have the ability to make such a hacking device. However, he had a backup idea for this. His partner was a highly qualified electrical engineer. Burchan knows very well what kind of hacking device to make to manipulate any electrical system and enter it. So Will goes to meet him first. Like him, Burchan also believed that information should be open to everyone, so he helps him in every hacking task. Meanwhile, Burchan uses his engineering knowledge to make a hacking device. Will takes that device and secretly fits it into Gordon's home networking system. Now the easiest way to get into the networking system of any home is to hack the TV connection. Nowadays, almost all TVs have a Wi-Fi connection, and all the computers in the house also run through that connection. So if you can somehow hack the TV connection, it is possible to hack the entire network in the house. So according to Will, the best time to use this hacking device is from 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. Because, since everyone in the house is asleep at this time, the TV's networking system can be rebooted with the help of this device. And since it has to reboot for a minute, the network firewall will also be ineffective. Because, during the entire reboot, the firewall loads once. And this 1 minute is enough to hack the house system. In this way, after fitting the hacking device in the house, Will comes to a library. After saving everything according to the plan, he gets the networking system of Gordon's house. Now, along with all the devices in the house, he also gets access to the woman's computer. I mean, think about how dangerous a hacker can be. Will finds an email from a guy named Sam Novak in Gordon's wife's mailbox. He sends her a sexy email from his computer, posing as Gordon's wife. Then he goes to a cafeteria to meet his friends. Burchan and 3 other friends are there. Will suddenly asks them if they know anything about the emergency. Charles replies that the emergency is a very secret and powerful organization of the U.S. government. They work under the intelligence agency NSI. They have the data of all the people of America in their hands. Hack asks him why he is so interested in the emergency. Although Will does not answer him, after they leave, he tells his other friend Sloan that he has been able to hack the personal network of the emergency's Chief of Technology Officer Sam Novak. That is, Sam, who sent the email to Gordon's wife, is actually a very high-ranking government official. Sloan gets very scared when she hears that her network has been hacked, and immediately asks him to get out of there, because Will hacked this system using his neighbor's Wi-Fi. Now that Emergency has a huge data repository, they will be able to catch this hacking quickly, and they will all be in danger for that. So Will is forced to come to his house from there. Then after Sam hacked Novak's network, he also hacked the emergency server from there. Then he started downloading a lot of secret programs from the server. This time, he understood many of them himself, but one of Shepard's programs was not in his head at all. Since the program was Linux-based, Will went to his Linux expert friend Hush. Hush was initially surprised to hear about hacking the emergency server. Then he started watching the Shepard program and told Will about it in detail. Hush said that this program was trying to connect to another server by opening an SS channel. But for that, he had to log in with a login password. And he could try this password a maximum of 3 times. Those who use Linux may know that SS channel is a type of system where a program connects to another server and encrypts itself. Because of this, it is no longer possible to decrypt that program. Now, to know what is on the server that Shepard is trying to connect to, he has to give access to that server. Will started thinking that this work should not be done in such a public place. So he bids Hash farewell and goes to a place where it is absolutely impossible for this radio signal to go outside. As soon as he enters that room, he covers all the walls of the room with aluminum foil. These foils will prevent any radio signal from going outside the room. After arranging to trap the signal in this way, he sits down again to unravel the mystery of the laptop Shepard. But this program is written in such a difficult language that his laptop could not decipher it at all. It is possible to understand the program with the help of a special method called Cartesian logic, but even that will take more than a week. If this program has to be opened, then at least one part of the program has to be targeted. Here, if the IP address of the server that Shepard is trying to connect to is known, it may be possible to do something. Now, as he is thinking about how to find this IP address, Hash's phone rings. They come out of that room. Meanwhile, while Will was in this room, some people came and took Hash away. They take him for the crime of breaking into an important government server. That is, Will Shepard used the Capital Wi-Fi to access the program's Locavi on his neck. Meanwhile, Will also sees smoke coming out of his own house while walking down the street. That is, it seems as if someone has taken a letter from his house. Seeing this, Will immediately sees a fire in that house. Does that mean that the emergency people have found out about him? Now Will, not knowing what to do, goes back to that cafeteria. But this time, Shernemo started scolding him and blaming him for Hash's arrest. Shernemo had initially forbidden him from connecting him with the emergency, but he didn't listen to anything he said. He told him to get out of there after giving him a lot of advice. And Will, finding no other way, went to his rascal Bid-chan. He was very upset because everyone else ignored him, so he spent that night in Bid-chan's house. The next morning, while talking to Bid-chan, he realized that it was possible to fool the emergency people with the same hacking device that he had fitted in the colonel's house. If this device was installed in someone's house and Shepard was accessed from that connection, the emergency people would come and catch him. And all this time, Will and Bid-chan would keep an eye on them and try to get any clues. Bid-chan initially refused to agree to his words, but later agreed to Will's request. Then Will first went to the house of a man named Robert Martin and fitted the hacking device and hacked his Wi-Fi. Then he connected Shepard online from that network and sat away in their attic with Bid-chan. Just a short while later, they saw that some people were coming in a car and dragging Martin from his house. Will and Bid-chan quickly tried to take a picture of the car's license plate with a camera. In this way, they secretly took a picture of the car's license plate. Then he went to Bid-chan's house and tried to find out the IP address of that server using the Tor network. Let me also say here that after using the Tor network, no one will be able to trace the IP address of that Wi-Fi even if anyone uses it. That is, just like a VPN. Then Will tried to open the IP address of the server using the Tor network, but it turns out that the license plate number of that car was probably fake, so it was of no use to them. However, Will finally gets an IP address, but Shepard could not be accessed again with that IP, because to break that address he would have to connect to many servers. So Will now uses a special method called port knocking to connect to the servers of that IP address one by one. If he can connect to the last server in this way, he will know which server Shepard is actually trying to connect to. Now, through port knocking, Will gradually learns the IP addresses of the servers, but he still needs the password to enter that server. For this, Will now runs to his other hacker friend, Sikander. After hearing Shepard's words in the cafeteria that day, and Decimat had his real power. Now when Will comes to his house, Decimat does not let him enter the house. Then Will tells him that he has found Shepard's IP address. But to his great surprise, Decimat himself gave the IP address, word for word. Seeing this scene, Will was very surprised and asked him, "Where did you get this IP address?" In response, Decimat told him that in addition to being a hacker, he works for government agencies and multinational companies. So it was no problem for him to know this IP address. He even knows Shepard's password. When Will asks him for the password, he says, "This Shepard is a program that will cause a lot of trouble if the public finds out about it." Will himself will not like what he sees when he opens Shepard. Still, when he keeps asking for the password, Decimat gives him the password. Then he tells him that he will no longer research Shepard, because many people are now going to be in danger because of him. But Richards tells him, since he has come this far, this work should be finished. If Shepard is actually a program harmful to people, then the whole world should know about it. Hearing all these words from Richards, Will goes to a secret place again and logs in to Shepard. This time, his eyes pop up at what he can see with the password. Shepard is a tracking tool, with which the American government can track any citizen of the country in any situation. That is, there is no privacy left. Will searches for Haas to check these things. Then he sees that there is all the information about Haas. Even his current condition, live footage of him can be seen through this program. At this time, Agent Richardson and Walls were interrogating Haas. They are torturing him severely. Then they tell him that he only tried to log in to an important secret file of the government, and that crime is unforgivable. They also say that because of Haas, a laptop was taken from a person named William. That means they know certain information about Will. So at first they had all his data in their hands, but later he was able to keep himself secret by using Tor network. So the agents started asking Haas for Will's address now. However, unable to bear so much torture, nothing came out of his mouth. After seeing all this, Will also closed the laptop screen and went straight to Sudnima's cafe. But, like last time, Sudnima doesn't want to talk to him. Then Will opens his laptop and says to the people in the room, "Well, wouldn't you feel bad if you knew that the NSA is always watching you? They have all your personal information." After hearing this, a man named Eddie says, "Why would they worry about this? None of them are doing anything illegal." Then Will asks him his name, and asks him, "What did he do last night?" Eddie replies, "He watched a Netflix movie last night," and immediately Will tells him the name of the movie. When everyone is surprised to see this scene, he tells them about this Shepard. If anyone in America wants, he can now track this thing, because he has access to Shepard. Then he also tells them that the NSA and Homeland Security Richards are capturing and torturing an innocent man named Gerard Martin, so anyone can become his victim just because of suspicion about something. After hearing all this, Sudnima tells him, "Why are you listening to all this here? Everyone will be gossiping because of you today." Then Will tells him, "Haas is still in the hands of Homeland Security, so if we can't release him, the danger will increase even more. Maybe they can do something to him. Will can break their system with Richards, but for that, he asks Sudnima to stay with them. When they free Haas, Sudnima will drive him and take Way from that place." However, after Will shows him the status of Haas's laptop, she agrees with him. Then Will sets up some fake documents in such a way that he has come to work on the prison transfer of Haas and Martin. This time, he disguises himself as a prison officer and goes to the Homeland Security office. Then, after handing over the files to the receptionist, he tells them that they have come to transfer Haas and Martin to another prison. The files here were so perfect that the receptionist could not catch his trick. Then the receptionist tells him that Martin is no longer in this prison. However, if he wants, he can take Haas. In fact, Martin has already died from the torture. However, this is covered up by the NSA and Homeland Security. Because, if anyone hears this information, the whole country will be in chaos. However, when the Homeland Security people hand over Haas to Will, he takes him away from there. Haas's face was completely destroyed by the torture so far. After he was rescued, Will and Surlam also join them. On their side, Edge, Peter, Sir, and Waz go to their torture room and go crazy when they don't see Haas. Then they hear the receptionist and realize that someone has taken Haas away from them, so they immediately use their thoughts to find them. On the other hand, Will takes Haas and Surlam to Jessameth's house, because he had nowhere else to go. This time, Jessameth doesn't want to let him in first, but after talking about Haas, he finally lets everyone in. Jessameth is very surprised to see that Will has managed to rescue Haas from Homeland Security, but at the same time he gets very angry, because he will be in danger because of them. Meanwhile, Will is surprised to see that Christian is already there. Haas was so hurt that he had to lie down in a corner of the bed. Then Will tells Jessameth that he will reveal Shepard's words to the public, because this is completely unfair to him, not respecting the privacy of the people. But Jessameth tells him that there will be no benefit in dealing with these government agencies privately. Rather, it is better to let them do as much surveillance as they want. They do these things for the security of the country. But still, Will does not want to listen to him, and Bitchamba continues to support him. With all this talk, when night falls that day, they all fall asleep. The next morning, Desmond wakes everyone up and tells them that the NSA agent are waiting for them here outside the door. That is, he himself has told them about them. In fact, he was working for them from the very beginning. Before he could finish speaking, their people came and took Will, Haas, and Surlam. While taking them away, Bitchamba started crying in frustration, and Jessameth told them to be calm. He said that everything was part of a plan, so nothing would happen to Will, but he did not tell what that plan was. Meanwhile, in the next scene, we suddenly see Goran emerging, because the whole story started with Will coming to hack his wife's laptop. Here, Goran is seen talking to someone on the phone about Will. By talking to him, he requests to meet Will. Finally, about 20 minutes after Will was taken away, Goran comes to meet them. Now seeing him, Will realizes that everything was actually arranged and planned. In fact, Goran has tested his hacking ability by framing him, and this is a method of NSA hiring their hackers. For this, they do not hesitate to torture the hacker for a few days to prove his physical abilities, and those who pass this torture are offered jobs. Brother, this is the first time I have seen such a strange job recruitment in my life. In fact, this was the main plan of Goran and Jessamette. Goran makes the same offer to Will, who is almost in a state of despair. He tells him that if Will agrees to his words, then there will be no lack of happiness and honor in his life. Then Will tells him, "How can I trust you? You have killed all my friends." Then Goran tells him that all his friends are in good health. That is, none of Haas or Surlam died at their hands. And after hearing this, Will finally agrees, join Goran. And this extraordinary movie also ends here with such a scene. So if you like the video, don't forget to like and comment. See you in the next video. Until then, may God protect